welcome to Anglesey for round 16, 17 and 18 of the BRSCC Mazda MX5 Championship. We had some fantastic racing last time out at Snetterton. Race winner Sam Smith, you're starting in 4th position here at Anglesey. Can you carry on with what you did at Snetterton?
I don't know, it's not going to be easy. I'm not too familiar with the track. The pace is definitely there. We seem to be lacking the one pace speed, but over the distance I think we're going to be okay. But I've got teammate Mike Combe with me here this weekend back in the Mark 1s for a bit of fun, and he seems to be the one I'm worried about the most as it happens. So just try and work together and try and get the cars onto the front row for the next one, really.
Interestingly for you, Will, the championship leader, is starting behind you. This gives you a great chance to eat into his points lead.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure he'll be behind me in a few corners, though. He's quicker than he qualified. I mean, I was out on there with him yesterday, and I think he just had a bad lap in qualifying, but he will definitely be one to watch.
Fantastic. Well, we wish you all the best in the first race. It's over to Richard John Neal to take you through the rest of the grid.
Thanks very much, Lloyd. Sam lining up 4th, front row and pole, Josh Jackson, John Langridge alongside, then Mike Combe and Sam Smith completing row 2. Row 3, Ollie Allwood and Martin Tolley, Brian Trott and Will Blackwell-Chambers on row 4, Roger Shayner and Patrick Lay next from Jason Greatorex and Charlie Burge. Row 7, Teddy Clark and Paul Tucker, Matt Pickford and Clive Powell on row 8. Row 9, Ben Hansey and Stephen Foden, Anthony Hutchins and Richard Collins row 10, Sam Gendy and Simon Orange on row 11. The grid completed by Simon Brittle. That completes the top half of the entry. Remember, we split the entry into top and bottom half from qualifying, and they fight it out from there on in. The lights are on. Out go the lights. Watch for John Langridge in white. Looks like pole, but this is a left-hand first corner, and Josh Jackson looks good. Mike Combe looks good as well. From 3rd on the grid, slots in front of John Langridge, so they're side by side. Will Blackwell-Chambers, championship leader, on board with him, looking at Martin Tolley in 23, but it's Jackson the leader, followed by the 2 teammates, Mike Combe and Sam Smith, who've got ahead of John Langridge to go down into Church Corner for the first time. These cars make a super sight, and for the first time in a long while, we are on the Anglesey International GP circuit as Ollie Allwood goes wide on the grass, kicks up the dirt, gets it back on. Allwood's wide, John Langridge is tight and keeping it up the inside line. Tight line, I should say, not tight generally. I'll get some stick for that. John Langridge, though, chasing hard. The 36 car poking his nose up the inside is Sam Smith. And Mike Combe, certainly looking far from race rusty, the 27-year-old race preparation expert from Leicestershire, Thrussington he comes from, running well in P2 at the moment. And John Langridge in 4th place. Look at the views here. The drivers won't have time to stop and enjoy it. They're coming down into the first part of the corkscrew. Now, they're going left now. Rather than going straight right, they're going to go up the straight, which is the Anglesey International GP circuits. They get a long straight up towards the hairpin. This actually uses part of the old circuit here at Anglesey. And then around the hairpin, back downhill towards the last corner. So plenty of overtaking opportunities here. Great view as they come down the hill from that hairpin, past the old pit lane, which is the thing you can see there, the wall you can see on the right-hand side of shot, and into the last corner. So Josh Jackson's made a great start, lots of fighting going on. Patrick Lay in 175 coming under pressure from Jason Greatorex. The 94 red car is Charlie Burge, the man from Haverhill, and they go around turn 1 and head up towards the banking once again. Turn 1 called Target, turn 2 called the banking because it is banked. And having a look up the inside line is Ollie Allwood. Can't quite do it. You really don't perhaps get the perspective of the banking from our camera angle, but it does give drivers the opportunity to maybe take a different line, maybe not as wide as the one we saw there. And the car's heading down into Church, which then climbs uphill in towards Rocket. Watch this wonderful, fast, sweeping section of racetrack here at Anglesey. I'm surprised that more people don't come to Anglesey. In some ways, I mean, it is very well used, but it's a well-kept secret, really. Some of the bigger championships would do well. Look at the climb here. Great shot of how the cars have to climb up into the Rocket complex. They go left, then they go right, and it's a long right, then a little bit of straight before they come out of that corner there. That's the exit of Rocket now, going still uphill very slightly into Peel. And Peel named after the late, great DJ John Peel, who did his national service here on Anglesey and did come and watch the racing as well in later years. So there's Martin Tolley, one of the lead master drivers, the 23 car. Martin 5th in the championship standings after our Snetterton round. So, great battle here, and it's Ollie Allwood under pressure from Brian Trott with John Langridge at the moment, about a quarter of a car length back. He's going to, well, he's not going to have a look as they come into Rocket, but he's putting Trott under pressure. Brian Trott also all over the back of Ollie Allwood. Langridge gets closer on the second part of Rocket. This is for 5th, 6th and 7th positions. Josh Jackson still leading from Mike Comber. Comber has the fastest lap of the race, and he's chasing Jackson hard. I wouldn't say it's an outright battle for the lead, but certainly cat and mouse between the top two. And cat and mouse between these three for 5th place. John Langridge, who started on the front row of the grid in his first full season of BRSCC Mazda Championship action, is running well. Sussex driver having a fair old trek to come here and race, and is thinking about having a look up the inside line now of Brian Trott. Can't quite do it, but he's putting the pressure on. Trott really the man in the difficult position here, because he doesn't know whether to attack or defend. And then immediately ahead, Oliver Allwood, 3rd in the championship on 1,140 points, 11 points down on Sam Smith, and 42 points at the moment down on Will Blackwell-Chambers, which is approximately half a race win, because it's 100 points for a win. Talking of Blackwell-Chambers, there he is, coming under pressure from the man who challenges him in the championship standings, as Smith looks up the inside line to try and take 3rd place as they go through the banking, heading down to Church, but Blackwell-Chambers in blue has more momentum out of turn 2 and holds on to 3rd place. That is all over, effectively all over 2 points, because each position that you gain, you're going to get 2 points out of it. 100 points for a win, 98 for second, and so on and so forth. But if you get fastest lap, you grab 2 points for fastest lap. And at the moment, that's with Mike Comber, the second of the 2 cars almost in shot. Josh Jackson here is the leader, and Josh, this is not new territory for him. He was a double winner, you might remember, from our Silverstone coverage, races 2 and 3. So Jackson being harried by Mike Comber. Comber's got fastest lap. So just to tell you, I was talking about championship points. Jackson will get 100 points if he wins. Comber will get 98. But with fastest lap at the moment, Mike will bag an extra 2, so he'll get the same amount of points as Josh Jackson here. Jackson is 4th in the championship, only 10 points behind Oliver Allwood. And Allwood at the moment in 5th, so this is going to haul Jackson up towards Allwood in the championship table, which is all important. I won't go into drop scores because they do complicate things a little bit, but a driver will drop his or her worst 3 scores over the course of the year. That is effectively like doing away with a round or not having to come to one of the rounds, although by and large 3 races at each event. As the race leader, Josh Jackson goes down for the last time into target turn 1, the left-hander, which is why pole position is on the left-hand side of the grid. Jackson here has driven very well indeed, annexing pole position, good start. He's looked in his mirrors, he's seen Mike Comber behind. Comber on his best lap, of course, has still got the fastest lap. That was back on lap 6, just after half distance here. This is a 20-minute race, great BRSCC format as ever, and Josh Jackson really looking good. Wonderful to see them racing on the full Anglesey International GP circuit. Great for the fans here. It's a long lap, 2.1 miles. Does miss out the second part of the corkscrew, which I know the drivers enjoy. Up to Rocket for the last time, and Josh Jackson in 72 looks like he's going to hold the man from Bexley in Kent. And looking at his sequence of results this year, had a disappointing first 2 meetings, but since then 2 wins, and then a second again, third, second and third. So he's hardly been off the podium once he got into his stride this year. He's had a very good run. And of course, momentum is what you need in a championship. If you have a disappointing first round, put that behind you. It can soul destroy some people, but it hasn't done with Josh Jackson, who comes down into the final turn. Comber closing up, but Jackson really has this one under control. There's the checkered flag. Josh Jackson wins round 16 of the championship here on Anglesey. Mike Comber second from Will Blackwell-Chambers. Sam Smith is 4th. 5th place is Oliver Allwood from Brian Trott. John Langridge next. That trio battling hard. Amended result though, because Sam Smith excluded sadly, so it was Jackson from Comber, Blackwell-Chambers, Ollie Allwood 4th from Brian Trott and John Langridge, then Roger Shano, Patrick Lay, Charlie Burge, Jason Greatorex completed the top 10 from Paul Tucker, Martin Tolley, Stephen Foden and Ben Hansey. Steady Teddy Clark is 15th from Sam Geddy, Richard Collins and Stuart Brittle. Joining Group B for race 2, Anthony Hutchins, Matt Pickford, Simon Orange, Clive Powers and Sam Smith.
Josh, fantastic race, lights the flag victory, but it wasn't easy out there, was it?
Nah, it sounds easy, but it wasn't easy, lights the flag. But no, Mike kept me honest. I couldn't get away. He couldn't get closer to me, so now we enjoyed it. It was good.
Bit of interesting weather there towards the end of the race. How are you expecting that to continue for the weekend?
Yeah, tomorrow looks worse, so we'll see what happens. It wasn't ideal though, getting into the last corner, last lap, and it's starting to rain.
Mike, fantastic second place here in race 1A. How do you feel?
Oh, delighted, yeah, really happy. I've been doing the Mark 3s this year so far, and we've been struggling a bit with it. And last year I did the Mark 1s and did 3 out of 3 wins here in the 5 Club race, so I just thought, you know, I've got the option, the car sitting in the garage, do I bring it out or not? And yeah, glad I did now.
Will, fantastic third place, probably not what you were expecting, given your starting position.
No, absolutely wonderful first lap. Quali was quite a hard one. Didn't expect anything like that from the first lap. Coming out in 4th, absolutely stunned. I mean, luckily I think people were holding each other up, but if the hole's there, I'll definitely see if I can get through it.